Hey, what's going on? It is the Ace Michael Show. I'm Ace Michaels. Happy to be here with you. I'm pretty much happy to be any damn where after the worldwide pandemic. Yes, I know it's many years later and I'm still talking about it. I'm still talking about it because it happened, you know? If you ever just have a few moments, I want you to think about this. You survived a pandemic. Okay, just let that sink in for a second. Like our whole lives have changed. The world has changed. Think about it. You survived a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody can say they went through such a harrowing experience. Our president at the time did not wear a mask. He did not get his vaccinations, and so he got the freaking COVID, and then his staff got the COVID. It was like a freaking B movie if you think about it. It was like, what's going on here? There's a pandemic and the president of the United States does not want to get vaccinated. Oh, now he's got it. Oh, and now his people got it. Oh, now, and do I got it? You know what I'm saying? So I got a little post-pandemic remedy for you guys living in this post-pandemic society. Just know that a little dab of Lysol behind each ear is not going to hurt you. Don't use the Pierre Cardin or the Axe body wash anymore. Just use some Lysol and just, don't inject it. Don't put it in your body, but like put it on your hands, rub it on your hands, put a bit for the genitalia maybe. You know what I'm saying? You're going out on a date, put that Lysol on real quick. Be like, hey, baby, Lysol. You know what I'm saying? It's a good idea because we don't want to go through this again. Like the whole world got shut down. We could avoid that with just a dab, little dab here, little dab there. See what I'm saying? And don't forget, you survived a pandemic. All right, today my guest on the show is the fabulous leader of her group of followers and influencer. She is a social media queen, a goddess among regular folks. Please welcome to the show, first timer on my show, Miss Bridget Clark, host of the Miss Honey Bee Show, is with us today. Bridget, how you doing, love?
Hello, and thank you for having me.
I can smell that Lysol on you from over here.
I'm doing well, thank you.
It's arousing.
But they say a little dab would do it, right?
A little dab, yeah, just a dab. You gotta don't. Like my mom used to say, don't make your home in it, just a little dab. Just beep, 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 good to go. Bridget, what's going on in your world, darling?
Well, for those that don't know, I am the host of the Miss Honey Bee Show.
And with that honey, sexy voice, you better be. She talks like this. She goes, well, I am. Like everything she says sounds like sweet sugar. Would you agree? They agreed. They agreed. They didn't say much, but they agreed.
Well, this is my voice, so the only one I have.
This has always been your voice? This
always.
Is not your voice you use at a job interview or something?
No, it's funny. I had a cousin that used to answer the phone back in the day. They go, cello. I said, no, why do you talk like that? She goes, oh, that's how you answer the phone. So we laughed about it. I said, just talk in your regular voice. Yes. So talking about my cousin Dee Dee, God rest her soul. Yes. But no, this is my voice all the time, every day, all day long.
If I had a voice like that, I could make so much money. I'm not kidding. I would be a wealthy man if I had a voice like that. So you have a new show. It's a podcast thing because that's what the kids are into now. Like everybody's podcasting, right?
Yes.
And so you have a podcast where you interview different people and some celebrities, and it's called the Miss Honey Bee Show. What made you inspired to do something like that with as if you didn't have enough things on your plate? Like, why would you want to do that?
Well, actually, I was presented with the idea. So thank you, Mr. Ace Michaels. And it's always been a dream of mine. So amongst other things that, you look at doing as a child growing up. So among singing and acting and modeling. So that's just to name some of the few things that I have always dreamed about doing.
So were you that kid that was in those talent shows and things like that?
I was.
Oh my God, I can't stand those kids. So what, did your mom have you out there like, okay, Bridget, you're going to be a sunflower. Stand up straight. Sunflowers, stand up straight. Sunflowers do not lean over. Stand up straight, Bridget. I'm trying to take a picture, Bridget. Bridget, eat this cake. Don't eat too much of that cake. You're in a competition. Don't you know better? I mean, what was that your childhood? Like you were doing all the pageants and things like that?
No, never that. I mean, my
Okay,
parents were pretty stern
that was
when it
mine.
came to mannerisms and things like that. But as far as anything when it came to social and hobbies, they actually backed us. They didn't push us to the point where it was like, you got to do this. But they were actually like, supportive. So I grew up in the church singing in the choir.
Woo!
So joined church at 5, and from there you go into high school. I did the talent shows, and from there you go into the real world. So singing into bands and working in the scenes as well as behind. So I have been should I say, a singer for a long time. Yes, and I have some things that I'm actually working on.
I'm trying to picture baby Bridget with her like a couple of teeth not grown in yet up at church singing hallelujah. Like I'm just trying to picture that. So was baby Bridget was the only child, or were you part of a whole clan of kids?
Actually, I am a middle child of 8 children. I should say
Ah, I
family.
hate middle
Uh
children.
huh. I've two other siblings.
Got away
Yes,
with you
so
got
I
away
was the
with
middle.
murder.
Actually, no, I feel like
Uh,
I was probably that one that was always getting in trouble, where I
right.
tried to stay out of trouble to make sure everyone else was doing what they were supposed to be
That's why
doing.
you have that honeybee voice. It's the
Hmm.
trouble you got into. So I'm sure you saw your older siblings get into trouble that you avoided. You sidestepped that.
I tried to seem like it was me that got in trouble, and they were the ones that were trouble free. So you know how it is. Oh, you shouldn't have said nothing.
So what kind of parents did you have slap you with a shoe kind of parents, or ground you like stand in the corner timeout type of parents?
Well, more like do the work parents. So if you got in trouble, you're definitely going to pay the price. So you're going to get that bottom tapped, and then you're going to have to do your chores. So that was the type.
I cannot imagine little baby Bridget getting her bottom tapped. You were a good kid though, right? You didn't
I was for the
bottom
most
tap
part, but
too
I
much.
was the kid. So I have older brother that kept us in trouble. So
That's
we
fucking
were always
great.
doing something. We were more like the two musketeers. So
The
yes.
two
Uh-huh.
musketeers.
So you know how that goes. Fighting the bullies on the block and things like that. So yes,
That's funny. That's funny. So were you a kid with like good grades?
I did. I had good grades. So
I'm not surprised.
and then I went to college. So I had a GPA of 4.3.
Oh,
So
I'm not surprised.
certain
So
things
you were an overachiever at a young age. You went
yes,
out there
that's
and you
correct.
made it happen.
Yes.
What was your favorite course in school?
Actually, my favorite course was I would have to say biology as well as history.
Huh.
Hmm.
That's really interesting that you got into why'd you get in the entertainment business? Biology and history has nothing to do with entertainment.
I know, isn't that something? But
You
when you
weren't like in a theater class or anything like that? Like
I
a
did theater in high school,
debate
yes.
class?
A little
Forensics, they
debate.
call it in school. Forensics.
No, that was something I did in college, the critical thinking. So that was one of my favorite subjects.
And you did well in college?
I did.
You didn't like smoke pot and hang out?
Oh, no, no, that was never me.
Really?
I mean, I had friends that we all hung out, but it never did anything for
Did
me.
boys carry your books for you?
They did.
Oh hell no. No. Wrong. Nope. That's no. Okay. So all right. So you were that girl in college who was a singer. You were an actress. Then you were also what was your major in school?
Well, I mean, it depends on which part you're looking at. It was just basics.
To me, school is college. I don't care about
Hmm.
when you're in school and you barely know how to like make your own lunch. That to me is not real school. Like college, that's school.
Yes.
So I'm talking about college. So in college, you were studying. What were you studying?
Well, actually, it was for like a scrub tech, as they say.
So medical?
It
Is
was
that what that is?
it is medical, dealing with surgery.
Really?
So the doctor's assistant. Yes.
That kind of makes I'm already squeamish about bloody stuff. That makes me
Mm.
like kind of squeamish.
So the scrub tech.
I wouldn't even go to like a prize fight because I don't want to see somebody bleeding. That's like not my thing.
Well, it's like horror movies, you know. It was more like the gorier, the better. So.
Yuck. Yuck. Okay, so here you are. You're in I'm trying to picture not so much baby Bridget, but like middle youth Bridget with the books being carried by the handsome man, and she's singing. Now, how do you break into singing from med tech stuff? Like, how does that even work?
Well, it goes back to my childhood. I started singing in a
You were
choir.
already singing from
Yes,
church. And
correct.
so, did somebody like discover you? Did somebody say, "Oh my God, you should join our band, dude"?
And my brother, he was always into something, so he
But
was
this was
always
the
about
In Trouble
singing.
brother.
Yes,
How
the
can you
same
trust
one.
him with your career? That's oh my God.
Well, he
that's
was a
whole nother
singer
show.
too, so yes, he
Okay.
always started the bands, and I was always the lead singer, and we would sing and go through the talent shows. My father would take us to the lounges, and we'd be singing with the adults, and so that's how it was.
As a child, did you have an afro?
I did. I love my afro. Good old
Oh, I
days.
see this whole picture now. Were you a skinny kid, or a plump kid, or thick kid, or a
Um,
medium kid?
I would
or-
like to say I was kind of like Olive Ball from Popeye.
Oh, so you were a slender, skinny kid.
Yes, but I
love
was
it.
more like I had the strength of Popeye though. So I was
I love
small.
it. And then you met some celebrities because you had some people on your show that they were talking like you guys have known each other for years. They weren't making that up. You guys, you really have known a lot of celebrities in your lifetime. right?
Yes, I mean I've worked in the field for a while. Like I said, born and raised from Kansas City, Missouri.
I know that's
So
right. You know, Kansas City, by the way, is the world champions
that's right.
again. I think it's like the third time. Yeah.
You're right.
Sorry if it's too soon for
And-
some sports fans, but yeah, that's the truth.
And
I'm
everyone,
just stating the facts.
right?
I'm
And
not showing favoritism because I'm from that city.
Mm-hmm.
That would be narcissistic on my behalf. I'm just stating facts. We are again world champions.
That's
football
correct.
team. I think it's third time.
right,
like
and
the
they should be
last
used
10
to it by
years.
now, correct?
They really should get over it and accept it. Yeah, I
Yes,
agree.
because we are the show me state.
For some people, maybe too soon, but you know, hey, you're gonna deal with the facts. Facts are facts.
Yes,
So you're from Kansas City. Like, what part of Kansas City?
Missouri.
But I mean, I know Missouri, but like, did you grow up like in
Well,
like, Paseo and Wabash?
I did.
or,
I
like,
attended
where?
Paseo High School.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes, and
My grandmother lived down the street from Paseo High School.
really
And she
small
used to watch
world.
me. Yeah, I passed Paseo High School almost every day. Isn't that crazy?
That is
I didn't know
crazy.
anything about it. What was going on?
Who would have known?
I might have seen you. Isn't that weird? I might have seen you one day, like there, because there used to be a McDonald's.
Hmm.
You remember that? There was a McDonald's on the corner. I want to say it was on Troost, but then everything was on Troost, so that's right.
Exactly.
That's like, oh yeah, man, we got a place off of Martin Luther King Boulevard. Yeah, everybody does. Martin Luther King Boulevard is like everywhere.
Right, you know those areas.
But yeah, I used to walk past the school on my way to my grandmother's home. And my grandma used to take care of us, my brother and I, because my parents worked at night. So my grandmother took care of us. And for a while, I went to one of those schools from middle school. I don't remember the name of it, but it was right around the corner from my grandma's.
So you don't remember what school you attended?
No, but I do remember this. We had this freaking principal. His name was Mr. Levette. And that sumbitch had a paddle with some holes in it. And that was just ridiculous to me. I was like, even at that young age, I was like, listen, man, let me get this straight. You want to pull a grown-ass boy over your knee and spank him with a paddle because he stole an eraser? Like, something wrong with you, dog.
But-
Something
Right.
is not connecting in your head. Like, what is your problem?
But that's how they did it. You know, all the old school principals and teachers, everybody pretty much was raised in that neighborhood.
No, I have spoken sternly to my kids. Like, I got two boys, and I've spoken sternly to them. Probably more sternly than I should have. Like, I've probably even gangster talked my boys at some time. But I've never put my hands on my boys. Like, I've never, like, you know, I mean, depends on what you consider. No, I'm kidding. No, I never did. I never laid my hands on my boys, even though I may have been like, no, look here, you know, I'm the man of this house. You know, that kind of talk, I'm sure, put some kind of trauma in them, but I never put my hands on them. And I would never want them to go to a school where it was okay for the principal to take a piece of wood with holes in it, put my son over his lap, and slap my boys behind. That's just nuts. Now, in my current situation, maybe my girlfriend or my wife, we might play those games. But that's a whole nother show.
See, that's how I was. That's the era I came up in, where the principal walked around with that same thick paddle, and the neighborhood, might as well say all the neighbors, they looked out for each other, for each other's children, and they did that
Yeah.
little, you raise your children in the village.
I hated that. They did
Yes.
that too. Well, you could get in trouble. I got in trouble one time because my neighbor lady called my mother at work. You can already see where this is going. She called my mother at work over some dumb shit I was doing at her pool, which was just dumb shit. It was not that calling mother level of stupid, you know? Nobody got hurt. No ambulance was called. It was just kids acting stupid. And she called my mother. And so then I knew she called my mother. So like imagine like from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. the drama and trauma that was going on in my life. Like I was like, oh my God, when my mom gets home, oh yeah. But I got back at Miss Bennington or whatever. I just kept acting bad until 7. I was like, if I'm gonna be in trouble, I'm gonna be in hella trouble. Then I'm about to pee in your pool. I'm about to do some crazy shit. If I'm gonna get in trouble anyway, I might as well bring it. Thug life.
So you're a bad kid.
If I was my son, yeah, I was pretty bad kid. I was because I was always inventive. Like I would come up with stuff that other kids would do because I said to do it, and then I would get in trouble because the parents would be like, "Who told you to start a breakdancing group, Gerald?
So you were an instigator.
Gerald, you a bad influence."
So you were an instigator.
I didn't make this kid do this. He didn't have to twist his arm around backwards and grab cardboard. He did that on his own. Yeah, I was a pretty bad kid. Yeah, looking back on it, I think I was. I mean, I tore up my dad's things. Like I took his stereo apart and then I couldn't put it back together. So then I hid it for months. It was hidden in a place.
And they were
then
looking
when
for
he
it.
found it. That was a bad day. My brother and I, we took an air mattress, right? And we blew it up and we used to roll down the stairs from the top of the stairs to the bottom of the stairs because it was fun, you know? Until somebody's big ass feet went through the plywood and broke the wall, and we didn't know how to tell our parents. So my mom's house was always messy, so we just piled a bunch of clothes in front of the hole in the wall and hoped that she would never pick those clothes up because she didn't seem to rarely pick them up anyway, so why would she know? Until that day she did. And that was a grounding day. Yeah, so there were a lot of little things that I did that were just me being creative. You know?
So how?
I thought it was creative. That's how I found out things.
So what was your punishment?
My brother got off easy. My brother was always the charmer. So he used to always kind of just get a talking to, but I would always get like stern grounding. Like that was the thing. Like I was always grounded. Like from the time I was probably 10 years old to the time I moved out of my mom's house, I was grounded like that whole time. There were only like small periods in between where I wasn't on some type of punishment. And my punishments overlapped so frequently that I didn't even know. Like I was like, wait, what date is this? What do you mean I'm grounded? I'm still grounded. Ain't I? You're right. I am. Right. Exactly.
So you stayed.
I stayed in trouble all the time. I remember one time I was grounded from using the phone. Remember we used to only have one phone in the house?
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 phones. We had one phone in the kitchen, and then we had one phone in Grandma's room. I used to use the one in Grandma's room because my grandma didn't care. I could sneak onto my grandma's phone, and I could talk to the little girls from school and talk to my boys and blah, blah, blah. So one time my dad left for work, and I got on the phone. I was talking to my friend, and I just got that. You know how when you're a kid, you get that, like, Darth Vader is creeping up feeling?
Right.
And I turned and I looked. I was right on the phone. I was like, yeah, man. You know, when we get there, man, we're going to find us some... I got to go, bro. No, man, I got to go right now. And my dad was just standing there looking at me with, like, lasers in his eyes. You know, like lasers. Like he would... And I was like, all this over a phone conversation? I mean, people have to communicate, man. You're taking this too heavily. No, anyway. No, I got grounded again. I was already grounded. I got double grounded.
See there. But you always had that other person, especially the sibling listening in on the other line, because we too had like 2 phones in the house. So they'd be eavesdropping the conversation. So
when I think about it, I don't even know why I needed to talk to those people so bad because you would see them the next day at school.
Right.
Like, what did you need to? You just saw them. You just got out of school hours ago. You ate some food. Now you're on the phone with them. Why? What do you guys? It's so important to talk about. But it was, man, being on the phone with our friends, and especially I used to like to watch MTV videos and talk to my friends and explain the videos as we were watching them. Be like, yeah, man, he just stepped out of the garage, man, and now he's jumping in his car. It's tight. It's just stupid conversations that teenagers have with mean nothing. And then now these teenagers got their own phones. So they anywhere they want to go, they can have useless conversation. It's nuts.
And standing side by side, texting one another.
Right. At dinner, having text conversation. In the movie theater, having text conversation.
Right. No conversation, just text messages.
So if someone wants to be on your show, which after this rousing conversation, I'm sure that they want to flock to your show, what do they need to do if they want to find you on the worldwide WW?
Actually, they just go online, go to YouTube, and look for the Miss Honeybee Show.
Nice.
And also there's a phone number located at the end of it, so they can just call that number, and someone will definitely get back to them.
Do you have any specific types of people you're looking for to be on the show?
Actually, I would
Yes,
say
you know what I mean?
yes. I look at anywhere from, I want to say, you know what, there's so much out there and so many different topics and things to talk about. So it's pretty much any and everybody. But I would definitely say the things are, I look for the celebrities, it's entrepreneurs, it's new striving artists, as well as business owners, and a lot of hot topics.
And that is what's up, man. You guys check out the Miss Honey Bee Show, hosted by the fabulous Bridget Clark. That is her real voice. And you guys make sure you make the show successful. Share it, like it, follow it. You know, do the whole social media thing with it. And it's me, Ace Michaels, with the Ace Michaels Show. And you know what I say, man, at the end of every show, I still mean it. Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you.
Thank you.